thinking about up until now, looking at up until now, whatever the day has been like, each breath is a new beginning. And I'm really excited to do this episode together with our live audience here in the Zoom room because we are in a series leading up to our next best-selling book boot camp, which comes up on starting May 28th. And we're working on today the idea of it's a challenge and an opportunity. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. What we're going to be focusing on today's episode is the fact that in the last week, I have had three different people reach out to me and say, oh my God, I need help because I'm being invited to speak somewhere, or I want to speak somewhere and I'm making a relationship with this organization or event. And they said, call me back when the book's ready. So in all of these situations, just in the last week, people who are out there with their message, amazing leaders and experts, are wanting to get on stages, wanting to make a contribution through speaking, wanting to have an opportunity to make a bigger impact. And they've all been told that they will be eligible to speak when the book is ready. And we're going to talk today about the book, The Author Speaker Connection. And we're going to break down why it's so important, why, if you don't have a book or a book on the topic you want to be out speaking about and you want to go speak, you can get excited about this opportunity, use it as a catalyst to get that book done so that you can be one of the people who is getting those yeses and there's no delay. All right. So we have a couple people now who are training with us in Thought Leader Academy because they wanted to say yes to the speaking engagement and said, the book will be done by then. So now they're in a crash course of getting the book done quickly so that they can get it written, revised, published, and have it in hand in time for the events that they're getting booked for. So I want to know how many of you watching and listening want to speak or speak on bigger stages. So if you're in on socials, put it in the comments, put speak. Those of you that are here in the Zoom room, put speak if part of your vision, part of the impact and the legacy that you're interested in making includes speaking. All right. Just so we know we're all, having this conversation for a reason. And it's been so interesting. I think in 2024, the bar has been raised where podcasts, producers on TV, people who are booking events, live events, conferences, people who are doing virtual events want authors. And we're going to talk about the reasons why that's true and what you might want to do about it in terms of making a commitment to get your book done and get it out in the world. Now, do you have to have a book to ever go speak anywhere? Of course not. I'm just saying I have seen a spike in the last month in people that I serve, people in our community, clients of ours, other people who are being told you can come speak when you've got your book. And yeah, Christy is speaking, but you want to get paid to speak. Exactly. So you're those of you that want the 5-figure speaking engagements, the keynotes. So there is a spike right now in the world in speaking bookers, producers, hosts of shows and events that want authors on their stages and on their shows, on their programs. And that's always been true. It's why it's built into Thought Leader Academy the way that it is. Book, speak, build your audience, monetize, lead. Those are our 5 core strategies that we teach. So what is this author speaker connection? Why is it so important to so many of these speaking bookers and producers to have authors on their stages and on their shows? All right. So if you have ideas, put it in the chat. What are your guesses, right? Put it in the comments, those of you joining us on social. And I want to break this down because some people feel like it's kind of annoying, right? They call me and say, I wish that they just let me on the stage. I've got something to say. It is, Christy, it's the credibility, right? When you've written the book, people know that you have had to formulate your thinking. You've had to develop and refine it. You've had to clarify. You've had to create a process or a system or steps, or you've had to do something to lead people through that process, right? And you are, whether it's deserved or not in our world, when you write a book on something, you are seen as the expert. You literally wrote the book on the topic. Yes. And so it's just really up right now in a way I haven't seen before. I mean, I thought the stats that I've always used just based on research that we've done, like data collection, is that speakers get booked 80% more of the time, or authors get booked to speak 80% more of the time and paid 80% more than people that don't have books, right? So I always encourage everyone, even if your main goal is speaking, to do your book. And I just think it's fascinating that it's gone up even more. And I think the reason is that we're in a time where there's, uncertainty. Anytime there's economic contractions, uncertainty, elections, wars, pandemics, stuff's going on, which we have quite a few of those right now in 2024, you have a spike in book sales. Okay. People are looking for answers. They're looking for trust. They're looking for authors. They're looking for people that they can say they've really developed their mastery and their expertise in a topic and can articulate it. Because someone knows if you did all the thinking to put the book together, you really do have something to draw from to come in and give value to their audience. So what I'm hoping today this episode is going to do is motivate some of you who are working on your books and want to speak to accelerate your timeline. And those of you that want to speak or get paid to speak more bigger stages and haven't started a book, I'm going to encourage you to come to the boot camp on May 28th and move your book forward. And those of you that are in the middle of your book, come to it as well. Okay, we'll share the link. It's free, just to help get some momentum, because I am going to throw down a challenge. I am finishing my next book this summer. And it's very uncomfortable for me to now have outed it. It's out, right? I am doing a book, a co-authored book with a colleague. We're authoring it together, and she's in the neuroscience space, and you guys know what I teach, right? So we are going to finish this book by the end of the summer, and now I can't take it back. And now it's out. It's on the show, all right? And I'm going to encourage anyone else who either is in the middle of a book like I am and you're going to finish it. You could write your entire book this summer. I wrote my last book that's continuing to create abundance and results in 2022, right? I wrote the that was 2 books ago. That book is our really biggest client attractor and seller right now, The Science of Getting Rich for Women. And I wrote that book in 6 weeks on a challenge like this. So I'm throwing down an opportunity and a challenge. I'm gifting you the boot camp. All right. So whatever part in the process you're in, make sure you get your ticket, reserve your seat, so that we can really create a powerful container to move our projects forward. And you can have it done at the end of the summer. And then you can start booking your speaking engagements this summer, because you then can really own upcoming book. And we have had at least 50 talks booked with our Thought Leader Academy clients in the last months, at least 50. I'm sure it's actually in the hundreds, but I know 50 for sure, that have been booked by people whose books aren't done yet, but they're far enough along that they can go to the organizer or the show producer and say, the book is in process. It's going to be out X date. And they're booking the speaking engagements. So I don't want you to be the person that has to give me a panicked call and say, oh, this conference wants to have me. They want to order hundreds of books for everyone that's in attendance. I don't have the book done yet. Let's get them going now. Okay, so I'm going to lead you through an exercise, a neuroscience-based exercise today, to help determine your level of commitment and how important is it to you? I mean, not all of you on here today, it's like the most important thing to book those speaking engagements, but there is a rise, since this is the rise, world, right? There is a rise in people seeking authors right now. They want experts that are authors. Okay. So I want you to be the triple threat, expert speaker coach, expert author speaker. And let's just do a check-in to see if this is your time. All right, that's what we're gonna spend today's on. Those of you that are already in it, it's like, is there a way to turn up the pace? We're gonna find out right now. Okay, so let's do this together. If you want to take a deep breath, close your eyes. And tune in to that initial calling that you've had to do your book. Those of you listening that know you have a book in you, a next book in you, you've started your book. Let's tune into like the desire that first sparked, the big magic that came to you that called you to write that book. And just see if you can get in touch with that, connect with it. Okay. And now those of you that also want to speak, I want you to pull that part of your vision together. So you're going to start to merge the book with the speaking. You are now author, speaker, expert. Just see if you can kind of just feel like you're pulling in the energy for both of these visions. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull the energy into these visions. And then I want you to imagine that you've waved the magic wand and you have finished your book. Okay, so take yourself, sort of time travel with me. You're going to get to the place where your book is done and you've already booked speaking engagements. Just you see in your calendar the kind of, Christy was saying, I want to get paid to speak more, bigger stages. Okay, so see like your next level of speaking booked on your calendar. And just breathe into that and see what feelings get evoked. You are now a best-selling author, and these speaking engagements that your next level are on your calendar. Okay, so just see if you can feel into that for a minute. And now I want you to ask yourself, what is good, different, and better in your life now that you have that best-selling book published and you're doing these speaking engagements? Just think about for you, what is good, different, better for you personally and professionally now that you are a published best-selling author and a speaker at your next level. Do you want to share any of that in the comments or the chat? Please feel free. It's good, different, better in your life when you're a published best-selling author of your first or next book and you are at your next level speaking. Yeah, exponentially more impact, Lisa. Yep. Big time. Big time, big time, big time. Okay, so now on a scale of 1 to 10, how important, if like Lisa shared her answer, right? She's in our live audience today. So then what you're going to ask yourself for each of you, whatever you wrote down that's new, different, better in your life when you're a successful published best-selling author and you're out your next level of speaking, whatever that is, you ask, how important is that to me this year? So Lisa will ask herself, how important is exponentially more impact, making exponential more impact? How important is that to me this year? And then Lisa Michelle, we got our Lisa power today. I love it. Lisa is saying better life balance, better financial position, momentum to write the next book. So Lisa will ask herself, how important is better life balance, financial position, and momentum for the next book to her? You're going to do a scale of 1 to 10, each of you. It's like 1 is like, I could care less either. It doesn't matter. 10 is like, oh my God, that's my big dream. Okay. Gina says more random clients reaching out, like out of the blue, like just hearing about Gina, seeing Gina, the visibility, right? So Gina's going to ask, how important is attracting more random clients, having people just reach out to her spontaneously, inbound inquiries, right? How important is that to her this year? Charlotte is going to ask, feeling success and financial position to contribute as a stay-at-home mom. Okay. So Shara's going to say, how important is it this year for me to feel success and have an increased financial position and contributor to her family, right? So that's what everyone's going to ask themselves, scale of 1 to 10, that outcome that you saw for yourself when you stepped into this place of best-selling author, next level speaker. And then you just ask, how important is that to me this year? And then put your number in the comments or chat if you want to do this as an interactive, since we're doing live audience today, right? So how important is that to you right now? And if you want to share it, you're welcome to share it. The most important thing is for you to see what is different and better in your life when you go for it and get the book done and get out there and speak more. And then how important is that to you? So I'm seeing some 10s. Amy Day is a 10, Lisa Michelle's a 10. Martha will align with your life purpose and reaching maximum potential. So Martha's like, how important is reaching my life purpose and fulfilling my maximum potential to me right now? Wow, you guys are amazing today. I'm seeing 10, 10, 10. It sounds like these things are really important. And each of you listening, those of you just listening to the show and watching the show on YouTube, it's like how important is it? Lots of 10s here in the live audience. Okay. Yeah. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? And when I ask myself that question, like if I want to go out there with a new message, then everybody from Michelle Obama to Gary Vee to Tony Robbins to Mel Robbins, all the Robbinses, when you've got your next big message, they race to get the book done. The book's the flag in the ground. And we're just seeing a spike in people requiring the book to go speak. Okay. So the good news is for all of you that are training with us, Thought Leader Academy, like it's already built in, right? We do the book, we do the speak, and we do all the pieces. But it doesn't mean we're at the pace that we want to be in, right? So some of our clients right now are really turning up the dial on the pace so they can get the book done for that next amazing speaking engagement that's showed up to them. Okay. Someone called me this week who's not working with us yet, is just like, they won't let me speak till I have the book. And it's like, okay, so do you want to do the book? Right? Like that's the question we get to ask ourselves. That's what we're all asking ourselves today. Now, what we're going to do to kind of bring this home is a by when. Like, by when am I going to commit to get this book done? If it is important, those of you who are 10, and some of you, Gina said she's at a 6. So that's perfect. That's just good information, right? Whatever number we are in, it's like, how big of a priority is it? I already have the next 2 books in my mind. So I am committed to getting the one I'm working on now done by the end of the summer, like someone else says, and get on to the next one, right? Because there's more that's coming through that wants to get out. Yes, Amy's finishing her book by May 28th, you guys. That's like game on. Next 2 weeks, that book is done. That's so exciting, right? So Amy can start booking speaking engagements, turn that book to the publisher, and she's off to the races. All right. So if you jumped on a little bit later in the episode, right? What we're talking about is, what's your sense of urgency right now? We've got this 1 to 10. Those of you that are a 10, what's it going to take? What do we want to do about the fact that I'm at a 10? I really want this. I see the value in it. I know that to fulfill my whole vision and purpose, it includes the writing and the book and the speaking. And so there we go. Let's do a by when. So my by when for this next book that I'm, doing is end of the summer. Right? Martha's going for October, end of October 2024. Margaret's going to finish by late summer or fall. Okay. So I'm not going to be alone writing this summer. Amy's going to be done in 2 weeks. She'll be on to the next one. All right. So the goal of today is to get clarity. Is doing the book important to you? And then today is it important to you to do it now? When I say now, I mean, this year, right? And gifting you the boot camp. All you have to do, if you're in the Zoom room, we'll drop the link again. If you're on social, just comment or DM us the word bestseller, right? We'll get your ticket, because you can do 3 months of work in 4 days in that boot camp and just really put this into momentum, right? If you know someone else needed to write a book, you better give them the link and get them in there with you as an accountability buddy, okay? So that you can have a running partner, right? Training for, I've run marathons. This is going to be a book marathon, right? We're going to get in there together and we're going to do it. Okay. So it's exciting. This is the process that I use when someone calls me and says, I don't know, like this person wants me to speak. They want me to do a book. I'm not sure if I should do a book. This is the process we go through. What's going to be better, different, and good in your life when you're got this book and you're speaking, and how important is that outcome to you right now? That's going to determine the timeline with which you write the book, right? So I'm seeing a lot of commitment in here in the live audience. We'll go read the ones, those of you on social, let us know, right? What's your commitment level? And this is also a public service announcement that there is an increased requirement / preference for speakers who have books. And make sure, and we'll check this in the boot camp, that you're writing the book that's going to lead you to be positioned as the irresistible speaker in the places you want to speak. Okay. So I'm going to light up some fireworks because you guys brought it today, right? It's Monday and it's game on. It's game on. If you're live, it's game on with your book. It's time. And, you can use the summer to check out and, not do this. And that might be a great choice depending on what's going on in your life. Or those of you that are, 7 to 10 on the scale, you want those outcomes. People are going to require you to have this book. Let's get it done. Okay. And hopefully today will be a motivator to pick up the pace or to make a commitment and to get the support and structures in place, and we'll start that on the 28th so that you can make sure you get that book done either by, like Amy in this month. You can do it with me till the end of the summer. Some of you are fall, right? But we're going to get them done this year. We're going to get them done this year. So let's seal this, okay? Let's seal this using neuroscience, using our really strengthening the neural pathway. You can do this with your eyes closed or looking down. And take some breaths, and you're going to breathe into your yes. You're going to breathe into what you got from going through this process today. If you've become more committed to your book and more committed to do it sooner, I want you to ask yourself, what is the next step that aligns with your commitment? What is one action you're going to take this week that really demonstrates to yourself and the universe, to life, that you're all in? Okay, and I want you to just let your intuition show you what that action step is. Right? And if you want to claim it and share it in the comments in the chat, remember, put bestseller in the comments if you want the link to the free guest ticket to the bootcamp, so you can get this going and have a lot of structure and support and do it with a group, do it in community. So your action step this week might be to register so that you just know, game on, May 28th, it's happening. I'm going to take this forward, right? It might be to write today. Those of you that have already started. Okay, Margaret's going for 3 hours of writing this week. I want to hear it. This is good. Let's go. Let's go. We want to hear it. Yeah. Okay. Chrissy wants more clarity steps on the publishing piece. Beautiful. That's going to give momentum, more clarity on publishing. Awesome. All right. So everybody, make sure you're registered in the boot camp if you're not already, so that we can do the deeper work of putting all the pieces together. Bring an accountability buddy. You can share that link. Again, it's open and free to everyone. It's my gift because I want to make sure that your book is in the airport bookstore the day it was when I found the book that saved my life, right? You need to be there on the bookstore, on the Amazon screen, in the places where people are buying the books, so that, yes, they book you to speak at their event and you change the lives you're here to change. All right. So this is awesome today. We're going to keep this short and sweet so that you can get out there and take that action step that you came up with. And remember, maybe instead of thinking like, oh God, I've got to finish this book to go to my next level of speaking, play with the words get to. I get to bring this book into the world and have that explode my influence, my impact, my legacy on bigger stages, on more shows, in front of more people, impacting more lives. We get to do it. And the message I got over the last week as people were calling me and I was having these conversations, we get to do it a little bit faster. So I'm doing it with you. I'm excited. We'll be back next week. Yes, Sarah's like, I'm all in, right? So whatever stage in the process you are, let's all take an action this week. I'm excited to be with you the week of the 28th to do a much, have every day together and really deep dive into this and start putting it into like 3 months of work in a week, right? Really accelerate the timelines and let's get these books done. All right, we're going to do it together. I'll see you guys next time.